What's going on, moviegoers? If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to Zero Productions. It looks like the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad could actually be released. But is this a good thing or is it a bad thing? Aren't we trying to move past what the old DCEU was and embrace the hopefulness of James Gunn and Peter Safran's new DCU? What are we doing here? Now, you guys, David Ayer has been talking for years about getting his cut of the Suicide Squad released because apparently it was so much different from the theatrical version that we all saw in theaters. Now, a lot of people have their feelings about the Suicide Squad, and boy, oh boy, you guys, I think it's just time, personally for me, just to move on, right? But I do understand where he's coming from. I get it. You essentially never got to tell the story that you wanted to be told from your original film, right? And you want your film to be kind of shown in the light of what James Gunn was able to do with the Suicide Squad. Because I can only imagine how, as a filmmaker, he's like, man, this sucks. Like, I've seen what James Gunn was able to do with the Suicide Squad. He had no shackles on him. He was able to do whatever he wanted. He got to show the version that he wanted to tell in theaters. I never got that. My movie was torn apart. My movie was edited down to a version that wasn't my version of Suicide Squad. So I get from that perspective. I understand it. I do. And David Ayer has met with James Gunn. And apparently James Gunn told him, yes, we are going to release your version of the Suicide Squad. I don't know when, but it's coming out, you guys. Now, does it go straight to Max with the streaming service? It's a possibility. Or do you give it a limited theatrical run in theaters? To be honest with you guys, it would be kind of cool to see it in a theatrical run. I probably would go see it just to see how different it was from the theatrical version. Now, I wasn't the biggest fan of Suicide Squad back in 2016. I wasn't. Yeah, there were some cool elements to it, but I ultimately just felt kind of disappointed in the film. I thought, wasn't it? Deadshot was cool, Harley Quinn. Killer Croc I thought was terrible. I think if you're going to do a character like Killer Croc, you really got to do it in the full-blown CGI character like, James Gunn did, King Shark. But I get that was a different iteration of Killer Croc, kind of taken from some of the earlier comic book runs of Killer Croc and, his appearances in Batman. I understand that, I get that. But ultimately, you guys, it just didn't do it for me. And then, you had Jared Leto's Joker. That was really just a little bit too over the top with the gangster, the gold chains, the teeth, the tattoos. That iteration of Joker just really didn't do it for me. But maybe in his version, we will like it. Because it's kind of like Zack Snyder and, his version of Justice League, right? I didn't necessarily like the version of Ezra Miller's Flash in, the theatrical run. I didn't. But when I saw what the character had to offer in the Snyder Cut, I like that version much more. So maybe this opens up more of a possibility for these characters to kind of get more love from, David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad. It's a possibility, you guys. So I don't know just how different the film is going to be. I mean, damn. I mean, look, I doubt he needs any additional photography. I'm pretty sure it's already done. It's already scrapped. It's all in the editing room at this point. So they got to go into the editing room, they got to put it together, blah, 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 and edit it all together, and David Ayer will be happy to release his version of Suicide Squad. But it's interesting. There's a lot of different hot takes, that I'm seeing on social media and Twitter of people saying, let it die, just move on. We don't need to see your version of Suicide Squad. We've already gotten the Suicide Squad, and we're moving on in this brand new, soft kind of reboot in the DCU. Why are we still clinging on to the past? I'm seeing a lot of comments like that, you guys. And I honestly want to know you guys' honest thoughts and opinions on that, because essentially it's important. Like, being the new CEO, like, why aren't you trying to move on? You see the damage has been done for the DCEU in the last, 5 years. It's been done. Black Adam is the highest grossing DCEU movie, you guys. Black Adam is the highest grossing DCEU film since Aquaman in 2018. The damage has been done. The fandom has been toxic. The fandom isn't working right now. There's no trust within the fandom. Let's move on. So I understand. I get it coming from both sides. I really do. Zack Snyder got to see his vision fully fleshed out in the Snyder Cut. I'm happy for him. You know what I mean? A lot of fans were happy. The studio was happy apparently. And, ultimately, it was a huge win for Zack Snyder and his particular, group of the fandom. But, some people think it was a bad idea to release a Snyder Cut. You always have the two different sides of the book, you know what I mean? So you have to really read the room and you have to consider all possibilities, right? But it's going to be interesting to see how James Gunn actually releases this, because like I said, David Ayer confirmed that he's talked to James Gunn about releasing, his version of Suicide Squad. So apparently it's coming. I don't know when, but I doubt, James Gunn has anything to do with it. It's all going to be on David Ayer and the editing team, and to put it all together and release it on HBO Max. And then, I don't think they're gonna put any money to promote it. You know what I mean? Why spend money in promoting, the Ayer cut, when you won't make any money off that film if it's going straight to Max. But if it was going to have a limited theatrical run, then it would make all the sense in the world. But it's interesting, you guys. It's very interesting. But in other news, you guys, we got confirmation from a scooper of who the villain will be in Deadpool 3. How exciting! So, can we get some toast? Has confirmed. I can confirm that Emma Corrin will be playing Cassandra Nova in Deadpool 3. In the comics, Cassandra Nova is Charles Xavier's evil twin who has equal and exact opposite. He tried to telepathically kill her in the womb, but survives the attack and spends her life rebuilding a body to enact her revenge against him. Ooh, I'm loving it. I love the concept. An evil twin kind of Professor X in Deadpool 3. Now, it's rumored that Patrick Stewart will be making an appearance in Deadpool 3. That's exciting. I would love to see it. And how funny. One of the villains in Deadpool 2 was his half-brother, the Juggernaut. Beautifully done. Oh my God, I would kill to see the Juggernaut again in Deadpool 3, you guys. He was so well done. It wasn't that X-Men 3 The Last Stand bullshit. He was so pitch perfect. So I'm really excited for Deadpool 3, you guys. The fact that, it kind of ties back into Professor X again. I want to know just how big his role will play in Deadpool 3. As of right now, you guys, everything is shut down. Nothing is shooting. So I do expect Deadpool 3 to have another delay in its release date, possibly going into later of 2024, or even possibly going into, the end of 2024. Expect a massive shift in release dates, you guys, and it's just super unfortunate because Deadpool 3 is one of my most anticipated films of the year. I cannot wait just to see Hugh Jackman back in, as Wolverine, but in the classic, iconic yellow Wolverine costume. I mean, the endless possibilities of Deadpool 3 with all the huge cameos of like Chris Evans coming back as the Human Torch or Channing Tatum as Gambit, returning characters from the old X-Men films. It just gets me that much more excited because it's like a love letter to those X-Men films. And I fully am 110% behind it, and I support it because those are the films I grew up on film. Those are the films we grew up on. If you guys remember watching those earlier X-Men films, that's all we had, baby. That and like the Spider-Man movies. That was legit all we had. And you had Daredevil, you had the Punisher, and the later 2000 films. But you know what I mean? We really embraced what Marvel was back in the day. You know what I mean? So I'm going to support Deadpool 3 110%. But put your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about the Ayer cut possibly releasing sometime soon, according to David Ayer. Thoughts and opinions on the Deadpool 3 villain. Put your comments down below, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.